All right, ladies and gentlemen, hey, welcome back. Man, it has been a long 3 weeks. We were supposed to do this last week, didn't get to it due to life gets in people's way, you know. So welcome back to Sports Junkies. I'm Brian Paleska. Man, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, all the moms out there. You know, can't live without moms. You know, that's how life is. You know, we have to cherish our moms in our lives because our moms, they put up with a lot of stuff with us, especially as children, you know. And speaking of, I have the perfect co-host that continuously comes back and does this with me every single week. There he is! He doesn't have a rollaway chair. Mr. Josh Buchik. How are you doing, Josh? It's good to see you.
How about you?
Good to see you. Way to spindle yourself in here. That was pretty good. So we got a compact show because we got 3 weeks worth of stuff to catch up on. So I talked in the last show that I would do WWE WrestleMania, but we're way too far out from that now to even talk about it. If you want to get all that stuff, WWE.com. This is what we have coming up on this week's show. We'll break it down for you. First, we're going to do our hot topics. Hot topics: UFL football, NFL draft just a couple of weeks ago. So we'll talk about that. Some of the highlights, and then I have the preview of the 2026 Indianapolis 500, which is in just 2 weeks, 3 weeks, somewhere around in there. Memorial Day weekend, actually, which is in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for that. That'll be the third thing. We usually have 4, but this week I only have 3. I did have a 4th one, but I scratched it at the last minute. And then we'll do a hot topics. We'll come back. I'll do the segments. Big segments today on the show. And this guy's lucky and gets to go first today. We'll get to all that here in just a minute. Let's talk UFL football. We are now already in week 7 already of the UFL season. So we'll recap week 5, week 6, and talk week 7. So let's get into it. Let's talk week 5. So let's go all the way back to week 5. And we'll start with, I think, the game that a lot of people anticipated was going to be a really good one. That was DC Defenders at Birmingham Stallions. DC Defenders, they look like they're just murdering everybody they play. I really think at the end of the day, they're going to be the team that probably wins it all again. Maybe they don't. But, I mean, they won 45-28 over Birmingham, and Birmingham hasn't looked like themselves.
No.
You know, so... And
you went AJ McCarron as the coach.
Yes. Which I really thought was kind of weird that, you know, the fact that AJ McCarron was their coach. The Defenders are 5-2. And the Birmingham Stallions are 2-4. So Birmingham's not really. I thought Birmingham would be one of the favorites this year, but
yeah, I thought they'd be up there. I thought they'd be up there with Dallas and DC.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next game was April 25th on Saturday, and we had the Battlehawks at the Orlando Storm. Now, this game, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but looking at the stats and everything, St. Louis won at 25-17. Now the Battlehawks are, let me see, they are 3-2, while Orlando is only 4-1 on here.
Orlando's actually doing pretty well.
This is as of week 5, folks,
Correct.
not as of week 7.
Yeah, for a new expansion move team.
Yes,
they're doing pretty well.
Right. So we take it. We move on. We move on to our Columbus Aviators. Now, they lost in week 5, 17-13. But again, here it is, competitiveness. They lost by 4, 17-13, at Houston. Now, Houston, this is as of week 4. I just want to make that clear. As of week 4, the Aviators were 2-4, but so was Houston.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked about the Aviators and how they've come along and how they have improved.
Yeah.
You know, granted, record doesn't say they've improved, but after the first 2 games, we were like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, Now let's get to the last game, which was Sunday, April 28th, April 26th. Louisville at Dallas.
That final score actually shocked me.
Louisville won 47-25, and Dallas has been a team all season that has actually played very, very well. But I think Louisville, granted they're 2-4, but Louisville has kind of found themselves.
They have.
You know,
They very much have.
I feel like Louisville overall has completely found themselves.
Also a newly relocated
Exactly.
franchise.
Exactly. Now, you see, that's the thing at the end of the day. When we talked about Dallas at the beginning of the year, they were doing pretty well for themselves, and then now they're 2-4. You know, they're not looking so hot now all of a sudden. So we went ahead, got you through week 5. Now let's get you to week 6. So this would be last weekend. Okay? Thursday night, April 30th. St. Louis wins again. Now, after Louisville puts up a 47-point performance, they only put up 3 against St. Louis.
Yeah.
And St. Louis, man, I tell you what, watch out. They're now 5-2.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not a slouch.
I mean,
They've got a new head coach.
yeah.
But he's done a remarkable job.
Right. So let's move on to our next game.
Columbus got
Friday
revenge.
night. Columbus goes on the revenge tour and gets a win, 24-17.
Yeah, Houston.
Now they improved to 3-4, and we're like, getting some faith here that this team might actually, do something. And I'm sorry, they are 2-5. My apologies. Houston's 2-4. That was as of week 6. I don't see how they're 2-5, but they will be 2-5. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Because this is up to date to week 7. So
Look at what the Defenders did to the Renegades.
and then Dallas gets steamrolled by DC, who I think is just going to probably win the whole thing again. They won 24-6. DC's got everything to win another championship again. There's nothing here.
Coaching, continuity,
everything.
Everything you wish your UFL team had.
And now you go to May 3rd, Birmingham picks up a nice win over Orlando.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Birmingham, like I told you, I thought Birmingham was going to be the team that was kind of going to be a favorite, but they just haven't played very well.
And they beat them on the road.
Right, at Orlando. That's huge. Road games in the UFL are a lot different. Obviously, we know we can't wait till we get to September and we do college football and NFL. Road games in college football are rough as it is.
Oh, yeah.
Go play a road game in the UFL.
Hence why Ohio State gets to go to Texas week 2. Well,
no, it is week 2.
Yeah, it is week 2.
Yeah, it's week 2. Because
at Texas.
Yeah, we open, I don't remember who we open against. We open against somebody, some slack school. And then we go to Texas. I think it's like Ball State or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. Speaking of that, granted, that's still a few months out, but we got something special planned. It'll probably be week 0 because Labor Day weekend we're just full.
Mm-hmm.
You and I will have just a college football special.
Yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and release that out right now. Week 0, which is what they call college football, it's just usually just a handful of games. They usually have a game in Ireland.
Yeah.
That weekend, it's just going to be the whole show is college football. We'll spread in some MLB. We'll spread in a little bit of NFL because they'll be in the preseason.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on the preseason AP poll.
Yeah, all of that.
Preseason predictions.
We're going to get through all of that. It's going to be this one, you and I, that show, we'll have to sit down probably a couple weeks before that show and prepare it because that's going to be it's going to be everything college football. We'll touch on our hot topics for that show will be probably MLB stuff like that, and then we're just going to get into it.
We'll even pick every conference winner for you,
and we're going to get into it. Oh yeah. Basically, when we do that weekend, it's just going to be one segment.
Yep.
It's all college football. We will have, like I said, our typical hot topics. We'll probably talk MLB. We'll talk NFL. And we will talk.
Well, by that point, MLB will be heating up the play.
Yeah, and MLB will be heating up, so that'll be a good hot topic to talk about. And I'll put NASCAR instead of a segment as a hot topic. And that weekend when we do it, this has to be the weekend before Labor Day. It's going to be an all college football show. I've been so psyched to do this. And then what we'll do is the weekend of the opening of the NFL, because that'll be 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
We will do an all NFL show and college, obviously. Once we hit Labor Day weekend, our show is going to turn a lot into football heavy, because it's typical,
Yes, yeah.
Obviously, we'll hit on the MLB playoffs, we'll hit on NBA when it gets here, we'll hit on college basketball when we get into December and stuff like that, just to kind of get you guys kind of an outlook of what our show's going to look like come fall time. It's going to be a lot of football come fall time. We will go over. We'll get back to this in a second. I'm just kind of glad we brought this up. Give you guys kind of an outlook of good hot topic.
Yeah.
Outlook of what our show's going to look like this fall. NFL stats, scores, and highlights from the previous weekend or two. College will be the same exact way.
Yep.
And then when we do week 0, my partner here brought it up, we're going to give you conference winners, all of them. That means we're going to go through all the conferences.
Even the Ivy League.
We will go through every conference, okay? And I'm not going to sit here and just say the big four. Well, now the Pac-12 is kind of back alive. But we're not doing just Power 5. We're going to go through all the conferences, Sun Belt, Ivy, Mountain West, you name it, and have fun
Action.
with it. MAC, yeah, the MAC. MAC's always fun, though. I love doing the MAC, man. But you never know who's going to win the MAC every year.
Well,
the MAC really gets you twisted on who's going to win that every year. We'll do that. I'll probably have you get the preseason top 25 up and running. We'll talk about that. Maybe see who's. I did this when I was on the Great American Sports Show. We'll do a ranked too high, too low, where we'll look at the top 25 and say, do they belong where they're at? Are they too high, too low, or are they good right where they stand? So that'll be something we'll do. We will also do early Heisman favorites. We'll talk about some Heisman candidacies. And we will break down the Big Ten probably the most because we are in Big Ten country.
Absolutely.
So that'll be probably the conference we will save for last. IO. That we'll save for last. That conference we will save for last.
Yeah.
Obviously, we will break down the Ohio State's 2026 schedule. We'll talk about all their games, which includes the big one, Labor Day week, or the weekend after Labor Day in Texas.
Yeah, we'll even touch on our arrival up north schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So that's what our fall outlook is going to look like. As we get in to like the month of August, we will talk more about our fall schedule and what we're going to have for you guys coming up this fall when it comes to the NFL and college. Because that's going to be our main two topics is college and NFL. We will basically turn it into a football show come fall. Obviously, like I said, our hot topics will be baseball, MLB playoffs, etc. NBA when it gets going. And December, obviously by then college football heats up because of the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And, we get college basketball rolling, which we'll add that into our thing probably January or so. So I'm glad you brought that up. We had some time to kind of break that in. We will actually our next show. I will write that as a hot topic, and we'll break down everything that is coming up this fall for you guys. So then you guys kind of know ahead of time, so you're not like, well, why aren't they talking about the stuff they usually do? Well, that stuff's kind of got to get put to the wayside for football. So let's get back into UFL. So we are on to week 7, okay? This is where we are. We have one game left, and it's tonight at 6 o'clock on FS1, okay? Orlando at Houston, okay? Go
I'm
ahead.
going to tell you right now, I'm already going to pick Orlando to win that game.
Houston hasn't looked as good as I thought they were gonna.
No, that's why I'm picking Orlando.
So let's go back to Friday night. Now, your Columbus Aviators played Friday night,
Really?
and they lost to a really good 5-2 again. Like I said, 5-2 St. Louis team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I was like, man, the loss of AJ McCarron, when he finally decided to walk away from being a quarterback, I was like, oh man, St. Louis, they're in trouble. They've got a really good defense.
They do.
It's funny about when I look at what these St. Louis Battlehawks have. They actually have quarterback Luis Perez. You remember who Luis Perez is? He's former Dallas Renegades quarterback.
Yeah. Everybody was talking about that in the preseason.
He decided to go sign with the St. Louis Battlehawks. And it is not like, I'm looking at these numbers, and it's not like Columbus got overly outplayed. And they had 257 total yards of offense, 153 passing, 120 rushing. St. Louis had 304, 204 passing, 104, 106 rushing. But Columbus shot themselves in the foot with 14 penalties. To St. Louis's 4. Right.
That's how you lose right there.
I'll break some of these numbers down for you. First downs, it was in favor of St. Louis 20-14. That's not too bad. Third downs, 4 of 12, 4 of 10, respectively. Columbus to St. Louis. Fourth downs, Columbus was 1 out of 4. And St. Louis was just 1 of 2. Total plays was only 6 plus to St. Louis. Yeah. 58-52. The red zone, no, St. Louis was 4 out of 5. But Columbus was a perfect 3 for 3.
Yeah.
So, time of possession, 30-48 to 29-12 in favor of St. Louis. Each team had a turnover. Each team had, St. Louis had 2 turnovers, but 2 fumbles, but didn't lose them. And Columbus had a fumble, didn't lose it.
Yeah.
Sacks, 1 for Columbus, 3 for St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Tackle for loss, 4 for Columbus and 7 for St. Louis. When you talk about, Luis Perez went 204 for 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And then our quarterback, which is Jalen McClendon.
Yeah, Jalen McClendon.
Yeah, went 153, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Ain't bad. Not bad. Not bad at all, right?
Not terrible.
So
it's the penalties.
It really looks like that game got away from them, and it looks like the second quarter because they were down 24-7 at halftime. And you know how hard of a hole that is to dig out of when you're down 24-7?
Although, to be fair, they only did hold them to 6 points the entire second half.
Columbus has got it. It's like
7.
Sorry. Yeah, it's like they got a good second half defense. It's like their defense doesn't show up in the first half like it's supposed to.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically like
they're a tale of 2 halves.
They're like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yep,
is what that
they're
is.
a tale of 2 halves. That's the thing about them. They're a tale of 2 halves. So
now you got to tell them about the shocking game.
So this is, I think, the upset so far.
By far.
Was over the whole entire weekend. It's Louisville at DC.
By far the upset of the season, I think. So.
Louisville won 30-13 over the potentially 2026 champion DC Defenders. Let's take a look and let's see what happened. So obviously there had to be something going on, and the eye-popping number is DC turned the ball over 4 times.
Oh.
Louisville, right here, had none.
That'll win you right there.
DC had 414 total yards.
Gee.
They had 353 passing and 89 rushing.
Wow.
They had 9 penalties, which ain't bad.
No.
They had 17 first downs, 6 of 11 on third down. They were only 0 for 1 on fourth down. They had 59 total plays. They were 0 for 1 in the red zone. But they only had the ball for 27 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
They also had 2 fumbles, which includes for those 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
Well, there's your 30-13 score. That explains everything. It's the turnovers.
Yep.
And it includes Louisville to 3-4. So
that's a very solid win.
Mm-hmm, very solid win. And then Birmingham gets a win over Dallas. Now, you and I talked in week 1, week 2 that Dallas might have been a good team this year.
They're kind of on this trend.
I'm going to take that back. I still think it's got to be DC and St. Louis at this point. Unless you think there's somebody different, maybe Orlando. But I really think at this point it's DC and St. Louis on a clash.
Yeah, I mean, the top 4 teams make the playoffs.
Maybe Orlando. So I'm talking clash in the final.
Yeah, I'm saying DC, St. Louis will be definitely top 2 for sure.
And Orlando will probably be third.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to have that fight for the 4th team. Like I said, tonight you've got Orlando, Houston. Now, this one's interesting because it's an FS1 game, and Orlando opened the season 4-0. Okay, they are now 4-2. Houston, listen to me. Despite a 2-4 start, sits just 1 game out of a playoff spot. Because let me see if I can get.
Just go to the standings.
Let's get an update.
That'll explain everything.
It is time that we do that because we have not updated the standings all year on this. So right now, if the playoffs were to start today, your top 4 would be St. Louis, DC. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Orlando. Okay. Those are your top 3. Right now, if the season were to start today, I think it would be it would be Birmingham. Yeah, playoffs, excuse me.
That's probably the tiebreaker right there somewhere.
But you have this. Birmingham, Louisville, Dallas, all 3 and 4. Houston sits a game back at 2-4. And Columbus, I think they're in a bad spot to even try at this point.
Well, here's the thing though. Look at the 4th team. They have 4. There's 4 losses there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not impossible, but
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge, and they need to start winning.
Yeah, it's a challenge. So let's take a look at the remaining games that Columbus has. So this is not the team I clicked on. Not the team I clicked on. That's the team I clicked on.
There you go.
So the interesting part to Columbus is they start their next game is at Birmingham, which is winnable.
That's winnable. I didn't think of that at the beginning of the season, but it's winnable.
Okay. Then they'll come home and play Birmingham. An ABC game, by the way.
Ooh, they play Birmingham twice.
Yep.
Should be 2 wins.
Before they play Louisville at home. So.
Wait, there's only 3. Oh, yeah, there is only 3 games.
We're on week 7. So, 3 games left to go. I mean, what do you think? I mean, talk to me about it.
Here's the thing.
Talk to me about it.
All right, I'm going to say it right now. If this Columbus team can win out and finish 5-5, I'm going to say that's a decent first year. Decent. Not great. Decent.
I'm going to be honest with you. Here's the deal. So, you say decent. I think 5-5 is okay.
That's what I mean.
I think it's okay.
We didn't really go into the season with expectations to begin with.
Right.
So 5-5 to start your first campaign.
Right. No, absolutely.
In a new city, with a new team, new coach, everything. It's pretty cool.
So, as we're talking that, look who decides to show up again. Say hi to my kitty. My kitty decides he wants to be part of the show. Say hi to my kitty. Say hi to my kitty.
Yeah, he wants to be part of the show and mess with plastic bags.
Yeah, and mess with plastic bags, which was hilarious when Josh was watching that on the floor. So, that's your complete update on the UFL. That's actually a more complete update than we've done, because we ain't done the standings at all. Now it's updated.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we'll be back in a couple of weeks, and that would be Memorial Day weekend, which I'm off all 3 days, so we can just figure out when we're going to do the show that day. So let's go on to the next thing. Let's talk the NFL draft. Let's just touch on it. We don't need to go through all 7 stinking rounds. We can just talk about the first round.
But
maybe some highlights.
Given our fandom here, we can both be proud of this, actually. Ohio State obviously led all colleges in drafted players. And I think they were the first team ever in the common draft era to have 4 players selected in the top 11 picks in the first round.
That's all I'm saying.
Not Michigan, not Alabama, not Georgia. Ohio State.
Anyway.
Speaking of Ohio State, this guy's team with the number 4 pick.
Golden Tate. Or Cardinal Tate, sorry. Yeah, I messed up. Why do I think... Oh, because Golden Tate used to play in the NFL.
Yeah, and he played for Notre Dame.
Yeah, he played for Notre Dame. So I have the first round up here in front of me, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We are not going to sit here and talk all 7 rounds. You guys want to have an update on all 7 rounds if you didn't get a chance to watch it. ESPN.com, NFL.com, all 7 rounds are up there. Josh and I are just going to kind of break down some of the picks out of the first round that we thought were interesting.
Yeah, we'll start, obviously, let's just start right where every draft starts. Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. Yay or nay, bud?
I think Fernando Mendoza is a very talented quarterback. Okay. My problem with Fernando Mendoza, it's not really the problem, it's just the Raiders don't have an offensive line, and I'm actually scared for
it. See, here,
I'm scared for him.
This is the problem I have, especially your Titans did this.
Yes.
To
Cam Ward.
Yeah, Cam Ward his first year.
Yep.
No offensive line, what happens? He gets sacked, the crap sacked out of him, quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's going to be his first year, obviously, but it'll be growing pains as usual. A lot of growing pains, especially for any rookie quarterback with that high expectations as well.
That's a good one. We'll start with that. Let's talk about the number 3 pick. Obviously, the number 2 pick was David Bailey out of Texas Tech, the edge rusher, the very talented edge rusher out of Texas Tech, who will be a stud.
Yeah, he'll be a stud.
Okay, let's talk about that 3rd pick. Despite the running back room, they decided to go the Cardinals with Jeremiah Love, which everybody on their mock draft thought Tennessee was going to take him. Which I would have been okay with it.
I can't read your team anyway because your team is so dysfunctional, just like everybody else.
You know who they're dysfunctional like? The Cleveland Browns. Just a little worse right now. Got that done and got that reign of terror out of the way.
See, you and Brad can share that disdain.
Brad, the pain with my team's a lot worse right now than yours, trust me. At least you have a solid defense. I don't. So
I'll agree with that.
Let's, Jeremiah Love, I think top running back in the whole entire draft.
He is, but honestly, I don't think that's what Arizona needed.
No, Arizona didn't need that at all. I really feel like they should have gotten somebody opposite of Marvin Harrison Jr.
They should have.
Or, picked up somebody on defense.
Yeah.
Because they need defensive help. Bad. Okay.
Just like your team.
Right. So Jeremiah Love, I didn't mind it, but I think they could have went somewhere different. Tennessee picked a Cardinal Tate.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. Okay.
That's what I wanted to do. That's what everybody wants to know your team.
My defense on this, people are like, yes, I understand that we need defensive players. We did pick them up later on. But we do need somebody to be a consistent, good route runner and knows how to catch the football.
And that's exactly what he does.
I don't trust Calvin Ridley. Van Jefferson's gone. Yeah. We basically have revamped. We basically just redid our whole receiving core. Cardinal Tate's probably at least going to be number 2 behind Calvin Ridley. Maybe 3, but I think he's 2 or 3.
He might push Calvin Ridley actually for his.
And he may push Calvin Ridley for the number 1 spot if he can be good enough to push. If him and Cam Ward can get on the same page, that's going to be a deadly combination. And I can't wait for Cam Ward to get going with him. I really hope. I love to see Cardinal Tate get 700-800 yards this year. I'd love to see it,
especially as a rookie.
As a rookie, definitely. So let's go. Let's go right to the next one. Let's go with Arvell Reese.
Back-to-back Ohio State, baby.
Yeah, beauty.
Woo!
Yeah, we had a beauty linebacker, bro. We had a linebacking core last year,
dude.
Oh man, speed.
Arvell Reese was the definition of speed.
Mm-hmm. He definitely was. Giants picked him up to go with already a solid defense, despite them trading Dexter Lawrence away.
About to say, given the fact that Dexter Lawrence is now gone,
that's a hole. Now that's going to be a hole. I don't like that hole now.
Yeah. as a whole. But Reese is going to be a very solid linebacker at an NFL level.
Right. Okay, so let's go. We'll just kind of speckle around some of these picks here. Obviously, Josh mentioned it at the top. Sonny Styles, Ohio State linebacker, he gets picked up by the Washington Commanders, which is great because heaven knows how much longer Bobby Wagner's got left in him.
Yeah.
Sonny Styles would be a good replacement.
Also, absolutely perfect mentor.
Oh, yes.
To learn from.
Oh, yes.
One of the best. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And why not be a sponge?
Why not? I agree with you 110% on that. So, and then we'll go to number 8 pick, which was Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State, the hot receiver out of Arizona State. He was actually a really good receiver. He actually played very well. He's got a lot of upside to him. It looks. Oh, he was a Colorado transfer.
Yeah.
And went to Arizona State, which was good for him. He actually got an 89 overall grade.
I don't know. I think maybe this was in the past too, but I think some people were just, again, they were hesitant on him only because of his injury past.
He actually overall, his position rank, he was the second best receiver, not behind Carnell Tate, believe it or not. He's the second best receiver, 12th overall, and he had an 89 overall grade.
Yeah,
that's actually really, really good for a freaking receiver. Just saying. Okay,
so
Spencer Fennell, offensive tackle from Utah for Cleveland.
Yeah,
Brad
loves that.
It's actually okay.
And everybody knows. Okay, everybody knows, me included. Brad knows. Any Cleveland Browns fan out there knows. Last year's biggest problem, offensive line.
And Cleveland,
100%.
I think Cleveland really. I think overall that when you look at the situation at hand, I think they did a good job addressing it. Okay, Spencer Fennell is a very good offensive lineman. I am actually really glad they picked him up. Let's take a look at his numbers. He was number 4. He's number 4 in his position rank. He's 19th overall ranked with an 88 grade. 6'5", 311. And he actually has experience on both sides.
Yep.
Left and right tackle. He is actually tied for the second fastest offensive lineman when it comes to 40-yard dash at 4.91 seconds.
He'll get down the field and pull you over.
That's dick fast. Just throwing that at you. For an offensive lineman, that's huge. So let's jump down. Let's jump down to 11. Caleb Downs goes to Dallas. Well, Dallas needs defensive help.
Oh my goodness, do they need defensive help? It's not even close.
Okay, let's just go to get Caleb Downs, a 3-year starter.
You know what? Here's the other thing too. Nobody thought Downs would actually make it that far.
No, I thought he'd be a top 10 pick.
I was shocked
when he went 11th
that far.
Right. Well, let's just move down to the next. Well, let's look at Caleb Downs for a second.
Yeah.
So maybe
give him that right.
Number 1 in his position. Why he's 11th, 6th overall, and a 91 grade, and he fell all the way to 11th.
Steal. Absolute steal.
Dallas got themselves a safety. Get him plugged in the right spot. Dallas can have a much better, at least back into their secondary.
Yeah.
So let's continue on. Number 12, Caden Proctor, the stud offensive tackle at Alabama. Now, obviously, this is something that Alabama needed. Not Alabama, excuse me, Miami. That Miami needed. Sorry, a little tired today. Miami needed.
Even though they are actually going to part ways with Tua, I believe.
They did part ways with Tua.
See.
He's with Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So, Caden Proctor, 6'6", 352. Number 3 offensive lineman, 17th ranked overall with an 88 grade. Okay. Very strong offensive lineman. I actually watched him at Alabama.
Yeah.
And he did a really good job protecting Ty Simpson. Okay. Speaking of Ty Simpson, the Rams trade up to get Ty Simpson.
This is probably the only shock of the first round, honestly.
But in the Rams' defense, Sean McVay did call Matthew Stafford and Stetson Bennett Told them both we're drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Stafford was like, okay. I mean, Matthew Stafford's 38,
Yeah,
39 years old.
Let's go on a little sidetrack here.
Yeah, let's go on a little sidetrack. It's fine.
Remember the time when Green Bay drafted the quarterback and they pissed off Rodgers?
Yeah. That would be called Jordan Love.
Well, it's like, dude, you're old.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting older.
Yeah.
You're not getting any younger. But look at Stafford, though.
Stafford
knows his time is not going to be forever.
His window is starting to close.
He knows that. He's obviously won a Super Bowl, but he knows his time is coming to a close at some point. So why not mentor somebody?
Yep. So speaking of Ty Simpson, 6'1", 211, obviously out of Alabama. Number 2 quarterback in this draft, behind Fernando Mendoza.
Right.
37th, though, overall ranking with an 85 grade, which is pretty good. It's funny. They actually have... He threw for 3,500 yards, 64.5% completion percentage, 28 TDs, and only 5 picks. He doesn't turn the ball over. And I tell you, I think if it wasn't for Ty Simpson, Alabama would not have been alive in half those games. I'm telling you right now.
Nope.
So let's take a look here. Let's see what else we have that might be a big deal here. KC Conception, 24th pick for Cleveland. I thought that was a huge deal.
Yeah, it was another big deal for the Browns.
And then the Titans get Kendrick Falk out of Auburn, an edge rusher. We need an edge rusher outside of Jeffrey Center.
There's your defense.
Right. So, I mean, really everything else that I'm looking at here, really not a surprise. I see the Titans traded up. I didn't get a chance to watch the NFL draft this year. I see the Titans traded up 31st. So Kendrick Falk is 6'5", 276 out of Auburn. I know who he is because I watched him when I watched the Iron Bowl. He's number 4th ranked edge rusher, 25th ranked in 87 overall grade, which is actually really good, by the way. Oh, no, there's another one. Omar Cooper Jr. goes to the Jets, which is one of Fernando Mendoza's favorite targets.
Yeah.
6 foot, 199, 5th best receiver, 24th ranked overall with an 87 overall grade. That one was actually good. Now, this one I was surprised by. The Chiefs decided to go ahead and pick up another defensive tackle to help Chris Jones out.
Yeah.
They get Peter Woods, 6'2", 298 out of Clemson. Number 2 in his position, 27th overall with an 87 overall grade. That was from the Rams. Okay. Let me see here. That is really... I mean, if you don't see anything on here either, I don't really see much of anything that really blows at me. Yeah, go and take the tablet. See if there's anything out there in that first round that kind of just blows you away. Because I don't really see anything at this point.
The other big news that floated around, at least for the first round pick, was that initially your wife's team wanted Malachi Lemon.
Yeah, they did.
Malachi Lemon.
Yeah.
And what do the Eagles decide to do?
Take Malachi Lemon.
Yeah, no, they traded up.
Yeah.
They traded up with I think it was Dallas. Dallas, yeah, that was the biggest. That was the big.
Yep.
Oh, from Green Bay.
From Green Bay
via Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah. Interdivision trading.
Which I'm not a fan of.
So, yeah. Other than that, honestly, dude, I'm not seeing too many other ones.
Right.
But that was the only other. That was the only other big one that made it around.
Right. That's the only one I thought that was any kind of indifference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, obviously, like I said, if you guys want to, look at anything from the NFL draft in case you maybe missed it.
ESPN.
NFL.com.
Or NFL.com.
Absolutely. Okay. Last hot topic. I feel like the hot topics have taken a minute today. But we're on a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So we are just a couple of weeks away from one of my, outside of the Coca-Cola 600, Okay. This is a race I enjoy watching because motorsports belongs to Memorial Day weekend. Okay. I like watching the Indianapolis 500, which I cannot wait to cover that when we're here Memorial Day weekend. I'm not going to get into it huge, just kind of touch on it a little bit. We are going to be now at the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. It is scheduled for May 24th at 12 o'clock on Fox. Fox is doing it this year.
Wow. Usually it was an ABC.
Nope, it's on Fox. Fox took over all rights to IndyCar. So,
shocker.
Practice for it is May 12th. Time trials is the 16th and 17th. An all-field open test was held April 28th and 29th for it. And this is the first 500 after the Fox Corporation acquired a stake in IndyCar. So most of them have been on NBC. Well, they're not now. They're on Fox from here on out. Driver notes, veteran drivers like Helio Castroneves, Tomeko Sato, and Ed Carpenter are expected to participate, with several teams looking to fill seats. The competition for the 2026 Indy 500 is expected to have 33 entries, which is most of any race that they have all season long.
Yeah, it's true.
And the pace car will be the Chevrolet ZR1X will pace the field for this year's race.
At least it's a Chevy.
Facts. So I watched the 2025 Indianapolis 500. Okay. It was kind of interesting watching last year's Indianapolis 500. Alex Palou, who has been dominant in the IndyCar series, won last year's Indy 500. Okay. And last year, there are racers that are starting to try and to try to double dip. Kyle Larson tried it last year. I keep hearing that Carson Hocevar wants to try it here eventually. Larson said he's probably not going to do it this year. The last one to succeed at competing at finishing both the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 in one day was Smoke, Tony Stewart. Okay, last one to do it. Don't ask me what year that was because I don't remember. But last year's field was 33. Okay. Last year's field was 33. The prize winner takes home $3.8 million. Gets to kiss the bricks.
And drink the milk.
This is how much of a drop-off it is from first to second. $3.8335 million. Second place only gets $667,000. But I think this doesn't go by. I think this goes by to your type of company, because the third place guy, Patio Award, got $951,000.
Right.
Okay. So I think this is also by the make, model, and the sponsors that you have. Okay. Where Alex Palou's got DHL, and DHL, they can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, kind of a quick touch-up. I cannot wait for this because this is the first year it's going to be on Fox. This will be the first time that I get to see how Fox does coverage-wise with this. Because I'm so used to NBC's coverage, now I'm going to get to see it on a different channel and see how a different channel works. So, Memorial Day weekend, again, big motorsports weekend. Josh and I will be here that weekend. We're probably going to shoot depending on your schedule, because I know you got things to do. We'll figure out how to get the show in, whether we do it Sunday, Monday, whatever, Friday before, whatever.
Yeah.
We will talk. I will be talking Coke 600 and the Indianapolis 500, both of them, because by that time I will have the Indianapolis 500's probably qualifying results, because I believe they do that on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And Coke 600 practice is on Friday. because they don't usually do qualifying until Saturday, the Saturday before. So Indy 500, 12 o'clock, and then 6:30 on Prime Video for the Coke 600. Okay? So that's our hot topics. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back, and then we'll actually get in to Sports Junkies. We'll be right back.